It's now time to talk about the most important person in the world, and it's not me, it's you. Because the me is out there in 180 different versions of about 180 unique individuals in this room. So we're going to get to explore yourselves and others rather than me just talk up here. So great teams do great work, we all know that, but great teams are composed of individuals, unique individuals such as yourselves, and the people outside of this room, your families, your friends, the people that you care for. So the Living in a Rainbow activity is one of the activities in a book called Click. Why you click with some people, yet others drive you crazy. So why does that happen? Why does that happen? Everyone stand up for a second. Don't worry, you don't have to do back massages unless you want to. If you want to do a back massage, up to you. If you want a neck massage, whatever. But all I want you to do is this. Very simple example. You don't have to read the whole book or even see the movie that's about to follow. Very simple example of why you click with some people and others drive you crazy or frustrate or annoy you. Put your hands on your chest and say after me, I'm okay. I'm okay. It's just all these other people that have problems. Very simple, right? That is the paradigm we all live in, the egocentric paradigm. Because it doesn't matter who you are, whether it's me. This book, for example, came from my first book. Some of you might have seen if you support the MS Society, called The Genie Within. It doesn't matter whether you're a child at school or you're the person that writes this sort of stuff. You cannot see the world any other way other than, I'm okay. It's just these other people I either click with, or they frustrate me, or they annoy me. They fold things a certain way. They pack the dishwasher wrong. They can't even put on toilet paper. They just don't know how to do it. Okay? What I'm going to get you to do is what I said earlier, we call the Living in a Rainbow activity. I don't wear these clothes every day for nothing. So what you will find on your tables, but don't do it yet, is a pack of these Click cards. Okay, so in a moment, I'm going to actually ask you to open these cards. And when you've worked out how to open them, inside you should find 4 different coloured cards. Okay, so you should find... Okay, we'll do it in a minute. Eyes up. Eyes up first, eyes up first. Just remember, I used to be a sports coach, so if you don't eyes up, I'm going to put you down for 50 push-ups. No, I can't do that anymore. I'm a facilitator now. I've got to be nice and kind to you. But if you just look at me for a second, some incoming information. Inside, you should find 4 different coloured cards. Okay, a blue card, a green card, a yellow card, and a red card. Now, all I want you to do is have a look at these cards, and for some of you down the bottom, the possible negative perceptions of others may be the biggest clue. But all I'd like you to do is have a look at these cards and place them in order, like a pack of playing cards. So the card that you believe is probably most like you on top, second most like you, third most like you, and the card you believe is least like you on the bottom, like a pack of playing cards. However, there's a catch to this. Because it comes from my first book called The Genie Within, which was written to my little boy when he was born and is now used for 15-year-olds up, I'm only going to give you as much time as we give 15-year-olds. Okay, away you go. Open your cards. Card that is most like you, second most like you, third most like you, down to least like you. I know that a lot of you probably haven't finished because you're intelligent adults, and therefore you have all sorts of judgmental things going through your mind, all sorts of reasons why you can't do this exercise. As an example, you may be thinking at this point in time, Greg, I can't possibly do this exercise. You've asked me to place my cards in order, but I haven't had enough time to analyse these cards. Can't I go back to work and have a look at my Myers-Briggs or my DISC profile or my Enneagram or Herman Brain or something else, or Harrison, that I've done in the past? Why don't we get together again in about a week when I've actually got out my laptop and done a spreadsheet on these, and we can analyse them and then talk about which of these might be? If you're thinking like that, when I say go to the card that you believe is your top card, just wander over here to the blue corner, and with all the other people in this room who are trying to analyse this exercise, overcomplicate it, simply stop analysing these cards, stop analysing the rest of us in the room, and simply share with whoever's over there with you why this might be, and I know you don't believe me yet, why this might be your top card. Then there are others in this room who aren't thinking that at all. But they have looked at that green sheet in the corner and thought, oh, I hate people who can't even put up a poster straight. And as soon as I get the chance, I'm going to straighten that damn thing. And when I'm at other people's houses, I tidy up their place, I straighten their desks, and at work, I'm always the one that has to tidy up the place and get things in order and make sure that people follow the rules. So if you're thinking something along those lines, once you get over there, I know there's not a lot of room, but you can try to form a nice, neat, organised circle. But remember, when you get there, all I'd like you to do is share with the other people that are in that corner why you think that might be your top card. So it may be how you pack the dishwasher, it may be how you iron your children's socks, it may be how you organise people at work, or the risks that you take. And then there's other people in this room who aren't thinking any of those things. But they are thinking, oh good, we finally get to talk about the individuals of people. I haven't even met a lot of the people in this room. There's a lot of people here I haven't got a chance to talk to. It's all nice, fluffy people stuff. Oh, let's go and talk about people. And one of your issues often is that, oh, I carry the world's problem around on the weekend. Somebody's told me an issue and I just travel around with that. I find it really hard to let go. I worry about it. And people seem to realise that I have an antenna and I'm actually interested in what they're saying, whereas a lot of other people aren't. So if you're thinking those sort of things, you may want to come over to the red corner. And I don't have to tell you too much more because you're probably the only people in the room that have been listening to me anyway. The rest are all concerned with themselves. And when you get over here, just meet again, somebody maybe you know least well, and just share with them what sort of things do you do in your life that tells you, yep, even at work, I behave primarily in that manner. And then there's a couple of people in this room, aren't there, Caroline and a few others, who haven't even thought about all this stuff, have simply taken out the yellow card and thought, come on, get on with it. This is boring. I know how to do this. Let's just get on with it. You don't need all these instructions. Don't need all this other stuff he's telling you. I already know I'm yellow. I already know. Well, if you're that person going over there, just remember the exercise. Remember to take the other cards with you and remind people on your table. Make sure that you take one of your Click Colours Hit Parade sheets with you as well. Okay, away you go. Try the corners. We all have at least, complex individuals. We all have at least some of this within us. Just some are more dominant than others. So, and you'll notice, as Karis was saying, some of the people who work together said, where do you think you're going? You're over there. Don't you dare go to that corner, you go over here. so you get to know people different, and it's just, it's not that they haven't got any of that within them, it's just that they're more comfortable with that side. By the way, quick straw poll we do all around the world, myself and my great co-author David Katsoukis for this Click book. One thing we always ask is a quick straw poll of the people in the room who have partners. How many of you in your room, if you have partners, would have your partner stand in a very different corner to you? Have a look around the room. Why? 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 And often greens with yellows, reds with blues. Why? To balance. Why? Why else? To balance? What's a logical reason?
Harmony.
Harmony officers attract harmony. Something to learn from them, yep. As some reds will say, they complete me in some way. Or opposites attract, or they have skills that I don't have. Or for the yellows, what do we do to them over time? Try to change them to what? To us, of course. Remember, I'm okay. It's just them that has problems. So as you're listening to each example as we go around the room, just think about those people who are different from us and why they might behave in a way which frustrates or annoys us or we just can't understand or drives us even crackers, but it's only because that seems comfortable and natural to them. So an example from the blues. I've asked the blues to give us an example of how would you know you might be top card blue? Who has been nominated? Now they've analysed this, so they're going to be right, okay? So I might not be turned on.
The switch on the middle?
Yep. Look, I'll start. I better mention at this point.
I think that person needs
Yeah,
to
go
move
on.
from the caring and compassionate area. Go to the green, please.
Yeah, exactly. It just proves my point. There's a bit of each of these in all of us.
I think predominantly we all agreed that we control all the finances, whether that's in home or at in predominantly a lot of our lives, as well as organising holidays and all the tension and details.
Okay,
Quite
thank you.
controlling.
Because you're right, you've analysed. What about a green example? Anyone want to offer? And by the way, if you're giving an example somebody else gave, just make sure you eyeball them, make sure they're okay with that. So how might you know that green card is likely to be your most comfortable?
Okay, you might know that green is your top colour if you are a checklist person.
Yes.
And you even write something on your checklist so you can tick it off.
Yes.
And we all agreed that the toilet roll clearly does hang the right way, which is over.
Which you might all laugh about, by the way, but we're doing it for the nurses out at Murdoch Hospital, St John and God Murdoch, and one of the male nurses who was in the green corner, everyone laughed when he said that because toilet rolls have to go around this way, and he got upset, and they said, "Why are you upset?" He said, "Do you realise how many toilet rolls there are in this hospital? And how many people don't know how to put them on?" And also, it's a great test of how green it is in all of us, is if you do have, even the body language, if somebody says which way around does toilet rolls go, the green in us will always go, that way, it's the right way to go around. Last night, my stepmother, ever heard of Judge Judy? Ever seen Judge Judy on TV? Well, this Judge Judy, my stepmother's Chinese. She's one of the stories in my first book, The Genie Within, because she escaped from China during Chairman Mao's Cultural Revolution. And she escaped into Hong Kong. And she just arrived with my father, who's now 92, last night here into Perth. But she is a really high green. She's now an appeals court, high court judge in Hong Kong, Judy Anna Weiling Barnes. And she has a 4714 file on her phone. And they're checklists. And it's everything she takes away for a 4-day trip, 7-day trip, 14-day trip, and that's just one example of some of the checklists that she has. So yes, it's a very good indicator, checklists, because the big driver for greens, of course, is there's an order, there's a way of doing things. That's how you put on toilet paper. What about a red example? How would you know that red is one of your top preferences? Yeah, well, and does that surprise you in your industry? Okay, so if I was standing here and I had a bunch of pilots, where would the largest group be, do you think? Yeah, over here, right? Yeah, and again, just for the benefit of the room, anyone read the book Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus? A load of rubbish. All the female pilots will stand over there. Your female surgeons, if you know any female surgeons, will stand over there. Female chief financial officers, a lot of female scientists, they'll be standing over there. And if that book was true, there would be no ladies standing here, right? And there would be no men over here. So that just shows how complex people are and how complex behaviour is. You will get a dominance, predominance of females towards the red corner, but don't discount that people are a lot more complex than that. So a red example. What was a red example?
I will openly express my emotions, and I don't care if I embarrass people who are around me.
Okay. Think of this scene. Think of this scene. You've got two people at the movies. She is a high blue. He, her partner, is a high red. The movie is a real tearjerker. Okay. She's sitting watching the movie like this. And what's she thinking? Yeah. That's a movie, what do you do? He has got tears running down his cheeks. He wipes the tears from his eyes, looks up at her, and what's he thinking? God, yeah. Same two people at a funeral, they're both crying. Okay? Think about it, why? It's logical, it's a funeral. It's not just a silly movie. So think about the complexities of people and how we have all of this within us. What about yellows? Probably haven't listened to me. They've probably gone off the topic. They probably didn't even remember. In fact, I'm amazed you haven't been interrupting me. By the way, why do yellows, you can tell I'm yellow, why do yellows interrupt other people?
We're more interesting.
Yeah, exactly. and they don't say it quickly enough, and we already know what they mean anyway. And get back to me. Sorry, go on.
Well, I knew I was yellow because I've never written a list in my life, and in some ways they offend me. And also the other day, my son, I noticed that he's been forging my signature in his reading journal. Oh. And not only did I let it go, but I was secretly really proud of him for using his initiative. So you can say I'm
innovative. So, I'm going to move you in a second, but just keep this thought in mind. None of us has it all together, but together we have it all. So when you're looking at somebody who's different, and even in your groups you will notice, ooh, I thought I was red, but ooh, I'm not as red as that person. Or I thought I was yellow, but I don't jump out of planes without parachutes, so I can't be as yellow as that person. Or I thought I was green, but boy, I don't turn labels around in the pantry like that person does. Or boy, I thought I was blue, but at least I don't take 8 months to analyse where I'm going on holiday. So even if you have the first same top card, there's a lot more complexity in that. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to let you go to your bottom card. Okay, so let's explore a bit of the brain. Go to your bottom card and see who's there with you. So bottom card, what's your least? What's right down the bottom? Which one is least like you? So let's get an example. Let's get an example firstly from our lovely reds over there, or low red in the corner, least preferred. What sort of things might frustrate or annoy you about this sort of behaviour in anyone, yourselves, myself included?
I think I speak for the three of us. We can't be bothered listening to emotional people.
Yeah. Got an issue? Take a tissue.
Yeah. Yeah. We're quite happy to hand the box of tissues over to them.
If you think about at work, right? If you're especially a leader, and you're a blue-red or a red-blue, and you've got to do a performance management discussion, and the person you're bringing into your office has been warned twice already, third time, and you have in your left brain saying to you, I must make sure that this person doesn't walk out of my office without realising that this behaviour must stop or they're going to leave the team. Then the red side pops in and goes, oh, but what if they cry? I kind of like them. They're kind of nice. No, I must make sure that they understand the ramifications of that. So, got an issue? Take a tissue. What about a yellow? A top yellow. What might annoy or frustrate you about yellow behaviour? There's somebody, yeah. Give us an example.
I think one of the things that frustrates me is that they always talk about themselves. They're not listening to anybody else.
Look at me. Very egocentric. What about where do you want to go? You can choose. Okay, what about a blue? What frustrates, annoys you about some blue behaviour? I'm at the back there. Oh, pick me.
It's when they can't understand why you're so emotional. And I made the example, since there's mainly women in the room, I don't think I'm going to freak anyone out, but I made the example of when you got your period and you're crying for no reason.
Yeah.
And then my partner doesn't understand that I can just be crying because there's no logical explanation for it. That's the most annoying thing, I think.
Why are you upset? I just am, all right? And green?
I find I'm very frustrated by people who don't like change and don't want to think outside of the box.
And I think also people who are so dogmatic about where you place things, they must be there, you can't move them. It's just frustrating.
So my fantastic assistant Karis has suggested to help you understand other people, we're going to use a bit of reverse psychology. And we're going to start with the blues. And they're going to sing from our hit parade to wrap up the session what you would sing if you were blue. Okay, so you ready, blues? Ready, Mr. Music? And you don't want me to sing, so you better sing loud, otherwise you're going to hear my voice.
Sung blue, everybody knows one. Sung blue, every team should have one.
Karaoke.
Just give me facts and I'll relax and listen to what you say. Sometimes you might think that I'm abrupt. That is my analyzer voice. I simply got no choice. Sung blue.
Oh, yeah. Okay, what if you were yellow? What would you be singing? You ready? You lot, if you were yellow, what's a yellow going to sing? You can dance to it too. Hey, oh.
Listen, everybody, you just gotta get some fun in your work now. With a smile in your face and a twinkle in your eye, you can help now. You gotta get the people laughing and a smiling just as much as you can now. You gotta have fun, fun, fun and chase all your cares away. You gotta have fun, fun, fun and chase all your cares away. You gotta have fun, fun, fun and chase all your cares away.
So, what do you think we chose for the green song? Tough one. Tough one. You ready? Green? Low green?
Oh, I'm not fond of change. I'm happy with just the same. And to reach me beyond time and
they can't help it, the green's over here. So many green, low green.
Oh, I
How many of you
love
are
a
green?
checklist and I like things my way. The toilet roll is always this way. And I love my world in my green, green world. I'm at home. Yes, I love a checklist and I like things my way. The toilet roll is always this way. And I love my world in my green, green world. I'm at home.
Way, well done, Greens. And to finish, folks, and to finish, everyone, let's join our orphans. Everyone, wander over. Thanks, Jacob.
All you need is love.
Come on, everyone, arms up.
All you need is love.
Come on, at the back. Even if you're not red, you can sing it.
All you need is love. Love. Love is all you need.
Everybody,
all
we've
you
all got red
need
in us.
is love. All you need is love. All you need is love. Love. Love is all you need. 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 Love is all you need.
You don't know how good that looks from here. Thank you, everyone. Thank you. Great job.